To my March reset. In my mind, like mid-March is pretty much spring, and spring has arrived. At least in Tennessee, our weather is getting a lot nicer. Spring break when I was in college and high school, you know, was mid-March, and so just in my mind, like that equals spring. So I'm really excited for a new season, and because we're venturing into a new season, I love adding some elements into my reset videos that kind of help us reset, not just for the next month, but for the next season. So like in the summer and fall, I do bucket lists. And this month I kind of wanted to do a little mini spring refresh in this reset video. I thought about doing it as a totally separate video, but I think it'll work well in this video. So in the middle of this video, I'm going to be sharing how I'm refreshing my beauty, doing some new beauty treatments, getting my nails done. And then I also just wanted to share my favorite products for wellness and beauty and my home to help me get ready for springtime. So like normal, we are going to start with a little bit of reflection from February, going over the goals I set for myself this past month and if I achieved them or not. And then we'll get into goal setting for March. You guys know I use my daily planner for all of my monthly resets. This is a day-to-day planner, but it also has pages every month for you to write down your monthly goals and reflection. And so I'm gonna put what the pages look like on screen. I did this last month and it seemed to work really well. It's a little bit easier than showing you guys what I wrote down on my page, and you can follow along here. Of course, if you have the daily planner yourself, you can grab it now with a pen and do your goal setting and your monthly reset along with me, which is just so cool to have a product that you guys are able to use in front of you while you're watching this video. It's just like, I sometimes forget how cool that is, but I really do love it, and it's an amazing perk of me having a planner brand. Let's take a second to reflect on February. It's a short month, but it usually can be kind of sweet because of Valentine's Day, and you know, I was still like very much in the winter mood, making soups and just trying to have like game nights and movie nights with friends and family. And so I love thinking of my core memories from the month, my wins, and what I want to improve for the next month. So some core memories for me were, one, of course, Galentine's and Valentine's. I love holidays. Like any reason to celebrate, any reason outside of a normal everyday today, I love. So I love the Valentine's season. Like even when I was single, I still enjoyed it because Galentine's is so fun. I feel like Galentine's has taken over Valentine's in a sense, which I'm all for, just because I love getting together with my friends. And so I did a few different like small Galentine's things, and it was just super fun. We have fun drinks, fun food, chats, and it was a great time. And then for Valentine's, me and my boyfriend tried a new sushi restaurant, Virago, here in Nashville, and it was divine. We will definitely be back. I also was able to take a quick trip to my favorite place on earth, Bald Head Island, North Carolina. Working on a house for years, and it was my first time seeing the house completely finished. I made some content on TikTok and Reels about like decorating the bathroom and restocking it, and I'm excited to go back at the end of March for Easter, and just be able to spend frequent weekends and little trips there. It's such a heaven on earth kind of place. It's so relaxing. Even though the weather was pretty cold, we still got to play some pickleball and play cards and watch movies, and it was super good. My last one is just the sunny days. As you can tell, today is 65 and sunny. Not every day was like this in February. We did have some gray, rainy days as well, but overall I feel like the weather is slowly improving here in Nashville, which just makes everyone's mood happy as well. Wins, I was very consistent with my workouts. I went to Pilates, and I also started going back to hot yoga, so that was really good for me to get back into and try a new workout that I did a lot in high school and really enjoyed, so that was super fun. To improve, I kind of fell into hitting my snooze on my alarm clock. I talk about this in my recent video of like how to be a morning person. I'm like, avoid snooze. I'm still someone who has to work on that sometimes. This morning and yesterday morning, I successfully didn't hit snooze at all, but I kind of got in the habit of doing it a few days or a few weeks probably in February, and I'm trying to like get out of that habit again because I was doing really good in January. I fell off in February, but March we're getting back up. And then I love this section of the planner where you rate yourself in life balance in all these different categories from 1 to 5. So maybe do this for yourself as well. In the work aspect of my life, I am going to give myself, what am I going to give myself? February was a slower month Dream Daily wise, which was nice because January was such a big month for Dream Daily. And then with content, I feel like I actually did have a good amount of sponsors and like quick turnarounds in February. So I feel like I was pretty in the middle. So I'm going to give myself a 3 work wise, but it's okay. You know, every month doesn't have to be a 5 out of 5 in each category. It's just a great way for you to kind of monitor what areas of your life you're prioritizing, which ones you want to prioritize more, which ones are falling off a bit, that kind of thing. So for personal, I'm going to give myself a 5 because this month I really prioritized my personal care when it comes to getting good products for my skin. I'm switching to a lot of clean products, taking care of my hair. I have a dentist appointment at the end of the month, brow lamination, like just taking care of myself, and also going into wellness. Like I said, I've been on my wellness grind when it comes to making more smoothies and eating a little bit healthier and also working out consistently. So personal, I'm gonna give myself a 5. Wellness, I'm gonna give myself a 4. Social, I'm gonna give myself a 4 as well because like I said, I did do a lot of Galentine's, bachelor nights. Oh, Super Bowl, I forgot to put that as a core memory, but I hosted a little Super Bowl party here at my apartment with my roommate Ashley, who I introduced you guys in a recent vlog, and our boyfriends and some friends, and it was low-key but really fun. Honestly, I'm gonna give myself a 5. I did a lot of social things this month. Finances, I'm going to give myself a 4 because I feel like because I have done a lot of work for my finances this month. I set up my savings last month, which I'm now contributing to frequently. I gave my tithe this month to my local church, and as well as set aside money for taxes for next year. Like I'm doing that, doing it monthly now, like estimating my taxes and then figuring out how much I'm gonna owe quarterly and then yearly. And we're gonna get into finances and taxes more in my goals. And hobbies, I'm also going to give myself a 3 because I played pickleball 3 times this month, which was one of my goals we'll get into. I feel like I've just been watching a lot of YouTube videos on like beauty and books and those kind of hobbies, and that's really fun for me to do in my off time. So that is my February reflection. Now let's get into goal setting. So first I go over my goals from the previous month, and then we'll set new goals for March. So my big goals this month were 1, to order new samples for Dream Daily products, which I did last night. So check that one off. Number 2, I just put taxes. I wish I was more specific because I did get a head start on my taxes. They're not filed, they're not completed. It's gonna take me at least another month probably to do all of that. But I'm gonna give myself like a half because I did work on them, they're just not completed. Play golf / pickleball. I, again, am very proud of myself. I don't think I played any golf this month, but I played pickleball 3 times, even met some new girls one day, went out and played with them, and so I feel good in that regard, and I'm excited once the weather stays warm to play more golf, pickleball, and me and my friends want to maybe start like a beach volleyball league because there's some courts in Nashville, and just for fun, join one. I think that'd be a really great way to like get outside and be active as well. Did pretty good on my big goals. Going into mini goals, wake up at 6 a.m. I'm gonna give myself like a half for this one because I did some days, didn't others. Yeah. Eat more protein. I'm gonna give myself a check. I was very specific looking at my protein intake each day. I didn't like count it or, you know, log it in an app or anything, but just being mindful about that. And I feel like I've done a good job with that. And do a no spend week. Okay, so I haven't done this yet. I technically still have a week-ish left in February. I'm gonna do it the last week of February, the first week of March. I'm gonna film it, so that's technically next week. I think I'm just gonna do Monday through Friday to start, and then maybe if that goes well, I'll do a full like weekend as well. I feel like just the weekends is when I normally want to go and do things, of course, which, so that is point of the challenge, is like to make it tough on you, but also I don't want to give up a weekend of like saying no to seeing friends and stuff just because I'm doing a no spend week. So I'm gonna stick with Monday through Friday, and hopefully you guys will see that video soon. So my big goals, number 1, bouncing off of the one from February, it is to finish my taxes by the end of the month. That would just be amazing. Number 2 is to create a Dream Daily Instagram and TikTok game plan. I kind of just post when I have things to post on those. I'm not super specific on my TikTok and Instagrams. My YouTube, I'm like very scheduled out. I know what I'm gonna post, I know what videos, because they take longer to make. But for Instagram and TikTok, I kind of just post whenever, and I want to change that. I want to make a game plan. And number 3 is something that I haven't really talked about on this channel. It's something new I'm doing that I'll just mention briefly because it doesn't really pertain to you guys, but it is a goal I personally have. And I am actually doing some branding and website design for a local women's ministry in Franklin, which is so cool. They're hiring me to do this project because they love my branding with Dream Daily, and I told them, you know, I have always done my website myself, and so they are hiring me to help them. So again, this has nothing to do with you guys, but it's just something I'll be working on the side, and I want to complete the branding for them. Going into mini goals, I just got a new restock of Ritual supplements. They're vitamins, Daily Women's Plus vitamins, and they're Symbiotic Plus probiotic, and so I want to get in the habit of taking those daily, like packing them on my trips. I'm so excited to have them. I'm working again with Body Rock in Nashville, and so they gave me another unlimited month of Pilates classes, which is just so amazing. I'm honestly so thankful I can work with them on Instagram and do that because it's expensive. Workout classes are expensive, so I want to make the most of it and go to Pilates at Body Rock 3 times a week. I am traveling for probably about a week out of the month altogether, so you know, not that week, but for the most part trying to go very consistently to Pilates. And then my other goal has to do with my content corner, which we'll get to at the end of the video, but I want to finish this book. So this is A House of Flame and Shadow, the 3rd Crescent City book. If you're into fantasy or Sarah J. Maas verse, then you know this came out January 31st, or the end of January, and I knew I probably wasn't going to finish it all in February because it's such a long book. Where am I? I'm at like 60-ish% in. I'm like here. So I definitely think I can finish this book, and that's just a little personal goal for myself because like it can be a little overwhelming and these books can be very dense, but I'm also enjoying it so much. But I'll give you more of a little recap and update in my content corner at the end of this video. So then what I do with my goals is I brainstorm any action steps that I need to take, or like lists that I need to have to complete these goals, and then I break them down into projects and habits, and this again is all in the workbook. So like for example, finish taxes, that's a project. Pretty much all my big goals are projects, okay, because they're like multiple steps. And then take vitamins and supplements every day, Pilates, and read every night. We'll say that as a habit to complete my mini goal of finishing this book. All my mini goals are more habits, and so I'll put them here. Projects, I'll put like a due date tentatively, and then habits, I'll write if it's an AM or PM habit. So that's how I like to break down all my goals into actionable steps and like projects and habits to make sure that these goals actually get accomplished. Okay, so that is it for this portion of the reset. Now I'm gonna get into my little spring refresh, my beauty refresh, and maybe even do a little bit of cleaning Hey guys, okay, it is the next day and I have my little ring light because I'm in a parking garage. It's very dark, but I wanted you guys to be able to see the transformation of the brows. I'm going to my brow lamination appointment. First time ever doing it. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. Let me actually see if I want to do blue light. Here's how the brows are looking. They desperately needed waxed. I don't think I've gotten them waxed in like 2 months. So she's definitely gonna wax them. We'll see how the process goes. I will give you guys a little rundown when it's done, but I think this is gonna be such a good way to see if I like doing this frequently every few months or so. And yeah, I need to drive there, but I'm a little nervous. Like I said, I hope it turns out good. I just got done. Time for the moment of truth. Oh my goodness, I feel like they actually do look so natural. It's kind of hard to tell because, again, I'm in a parking garage and it's a cloudy day out, so I'm gonna have to get a better clip. Hopefully tomorrow it'll be sunny. They look so long and natural, and I feel like I'm really excited to see once, you know, the shininess is gone and my redness is gone. I literally just walked out of the salon. I am so excited to see how these lay. I can't get them wet for 24 hours. I also don't get a ton of beauty services done. Like, I really just get my nails done and my hair trimmed usually. That's like the extent of my beauty services. So this was a fun new experiment, and I was a little nervous, but I'm really happy with the end result. So yay, my brows will be looking a little bit more even and put together for you guys in upcoming videos. Hello guys. You are in my bathroom right now because it is the next day, and I wanted to show you guys the eyebrows like in an actual light instead of just in my dark R. That's all I had yesterday. I'm loving them. I think they look so good. They look so even, which is great. Like, especially the fronts of them are way more even than they were before. I'm just gonna brush them up slightly so you guys can see kind of more of how they stay up. This is without any product. If I just like brush them up all the way. And then I also like to like not keep it like that, obviously, so I'll bring it down at the ends. And then I feel like it just makes them look more filled in too without even filling them in. I am a fan. But let me know your thoughts. I had to wait 24 hours before getting them wet, but I'm about to shower and just do like an everything shower. So I thought I would show you the products I'm using for that, because part of our glow up is just, you know, using the products you have that make you feel your best. And then afterwards, we're gonna do a little face mask. So let me show you though what my everything shower consists of. Okay, so first we're gonna dry brush. Whenever I remember to do this, it's so nice, great at exfoliating. Supposedly helps with blood circulation as well. And then I love also for exfoliation using the Aesop Geranium Leaf Body Scrub, but any like really gritty, nice body scrub is so good for when you're shaving and everything like that. For hair, I am going to use the Inner Sense True Enlightenment Scalp Scrub. This just makes my hair feel so fresh and clean. It's really to help like product buildup if you've been putting days of dry shampoo and leave-in conditioners like in your hair, on your scalp. This is so great. And then I've been using the Way Hair Gloss. I use this normally when I'm going to blow dry my hair, and I don't know if I'm blow drying my hair tonight. So I may not use this tonight, but I have been using this almost every other wash day and absolutely love it. I may just use like a normal conditioner. And then I'm going to wash my face with some Typology. We're going to do the face mask. I'm using the Typology Radiance Mask, which actually was a freebie if you used my code in one of my recent videos. I think it's expired now, but I'll link it below just in case you guys can still get it. And I actually used my own code to get this free full-size Radiance Mask with my order. Put some of this on my clean, dry skin like it says. It uses turmeric, so it's like a nice gold yellow color. And then I also have some teeth whitening strips I recently got, so maybe after I have dinner and stuff, we'll put one of these on just to have the full effect. So we're gonna just apply this. Now, you know what time it is. It is time for my content corner where I recap and review all of the books, TV, and movies I've consumed in the past month, because there's one thing about me is I love a good book, love a good movie, and I'm really excited for this one. I actually have some new TV shows that are very relevant, reality TV, and then a movie, and then 3 books. Okay, so the first TV show that I actually finished in January, but I totally forgot to recap in my February reset, and that is Love on the Spectrum. Me and my friend Ellie watched this when I was with her in New York, and we binged it in like 24 hours. Never seen it. It's a very sweet, very wholesome, and educational dating show for people who are on the autism or Down syndrome spectrum. Very informative and like educational, as well as being very like uplifting and sweet, but also realistic. Like if you haven't seen it and you want something that's heartfelt and just a feel-good show, highly recommend. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I also followed Connor from the show on Instagram. I love catching up with the cast on their Instagrams. The next show I've been watching is the new season of The Bachelor. I normally watch The Bachelor just as like a social thing, something to do with my friends every week. Over the years, I've kind of not really loved the show. It's kind of been more of, again, just a social thing. It's just the show's been so predictable. I never really resonate with any of the cast. But I think we're having an awakening after the Golden Bachelor, and now with Joey as the Bachelor. I'm seeing a lot of girls feel the same way, where I actually am really enjoying this season. And Joey has been my favorite Bachelor that I've seen in a while. I don't know why. Again, it could just be something how they're making him seem to be, but he seems very genuine. He seems like a real guy. I'm really enjoying the season. Love Maria so much. Follow her on Instagram now as well. The last show I actually just started last night, and again, it's something that's mid-season, but I just started watching the new Love is Blind on Netflix. I had only watched one other Love is Blind season, I think maybe season 2, and I didn't like it. I didn't really even finish the season, but I heard good things about this new season of Love is Blind, and I watched like the first 3.5 episodes last night, and really enjoyed it actually. So I'm not going to give a rating yet because it's not over. They just released new episodes, but if you're looking for something, another fun reality TV dating show watch, Love is Blind. Okay, for the movie, I think this is the only movie I saw that's like a new movie, something from theaters. I definitely watched some rom-coms, like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, you know, just the classics and stuff. But the new movie I watched this month was with my family, and it was the new Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. I was excited for this movie. I didn't see it in theaters though, but I do love a musical. Okay, I saw Mean Girls in theaters. Like Greatest Showman, I think, is one of the best movies we've had in a while, honestly. I know it came out years, like 5 years ago or something now, but I think this movie had potential to be The Greatest Showman. It wasn't on that level. It was more for kids. Like The Greatest Showman, I think, is actually more of like an adult movie musical, even though it's very colorful and it's about a circus. Like it's very deep, and like the music is so moving and the choreography is so amazing. And I think Wonka, they definitely targeted more as a kids movie. It had a lot more kids humor. And I think everyone did a great job. The movie was beautiful to watch. What I have to say about Timothée Chalamet is it was hard for me to see him as Wonka. However, I do think he did an amazing job at impersonating or like being Johnny Depp's Wonka. He would say a line and I would think to myself, oh yeah, that is how Johnny Depp would have performed that line as well. But I just couldn't not see Timothée Chalamet. I give the movie a 3.5. Let me know what you guys think if you've seen it. It's available to rent at home, which is what we did. Honestly, I feel like I would have given the movie higher if not Timothée Chalamet played Wonka, but someone had the same acting caliber that Timothée Chalamet played. Does that make sense? Let's move on to books. I actually have 2 nonfiction books to share with you guys. So we're gonna start with a very, I feel like, controversial book, which is Glossy. This is by Marissa Meltzer, and she is a journalist who is giving a journalistic perspective on Glossier and specifically Emily Weiss, who's the founder. I didn't have huge expectations for this book because I didn't know how it was going to take it. I didn't know if they were going to pose Emily Weiss as a villain or as, you know, an amazing female founder. I really didn't know. I'll start with what I did like about it. I did like that it gave a lot of insight about like the beauty industry. If you're interested in getting into the beauty industry, it gives some insights there, as well as like a lot of data and information about like Glossier as a business, which is really why I was reading it. Like I wanted to hear how they came up with their marketing strategies, how they came up with like innovative products and like really targeted Gen Z. Like that's kind of what I was looking for in this book, and it gave a sprinkle, like 1 or 2 chapters dedicated to kind of that side of Glossier. What I didn't like is the rest of the book really looks at Glossier under a microscope, which is fine. That's like the point of the book. But it shares about how, you know, women who and founders who were under this girl boss title, like Sophia Amoruso, like Emily Weiss, they were criticized more than like their male CEO counterparts. And it was kind of figuring out like why were they criticized more heavily and stuff, which I think is a really good thing to look at. But then in regard, this author really doesn't seem to like Emily Weiss, even though Emily Weiss has given her all these interviews and allowed her to write this book. It really poises Emily Weiss as someone who's out of touch, which maybe she is because of her upbringing and stuff, which it goes into in this book. But I feel like the author is doing exactly to Emily Weiss what she says that, you know, the media did to these female founders and how that was unfair. She's like doing the same thing to Emily Weiss. So I don't know, it was like kind of contradicting itself in that regard. It's hard to explain all my thoughts. I know some people hated this book. I know some people really thought it was needed. I think it's an interesting read. You just have to know it is a very one-sided perspective of the company. And I think some quotes and stuff that they used kind of to use against Glossier and Emily Weiss were maybe taken out of context. Not saying Glossier has been a perfect company. No company can be perfect in my opinion, and they definitely are far from perfect. But I just feel like it kind of blew things out of proportion for the sake of a story. Okay, the second nonfiction book I read is actually I listened to it as an audiobook, and it is Chriselle Stauss's memoir, Under Construction. Chriselle from Selling Sunset. I used to love Selling Sunset. Like the first 3 seasons I watched religiously over and over, absolutely loved it. I don't watch the show anymore now. I haven't watched the most recent season, but I was interested in Chriselle's story more. She comes from a background of poverty, which I think it's really impressive, her life now compared to what she had as a child. And so I wanted to hear more about her story, her perspective. And so I was like, you know what, this was a free audiobook either through my library or through Spotify. I can't remember where I got it. I think my library. And I was like, you know what, it's a 4-hour listen, super quick and easy. I will say it's interesting. It's read by Chriselle, so you can like hear it all from her voice. And it's cute, and it's more like a memoir, but also with self-help thrown in. And it's very millennial chuggy in that regard, where it's like these little bylines, like kind of like Selling Sunset, how Selling Sunset has that like chugginess to it with like the songs and stuff. It's like, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. Like she didn't say that, but it's things like that sprinkled throughout the memoir. So it's like she tried to write about her story, but also a self-help book and with tips for life in general. So I didn't hate it. So if you're looking for something that's like easy to listen to, if you like Chriselle or you like Selling Sunset, it's very surface level. She shares a little bit about like what it's like to film, behind the scenes fights, you know, with other cast members, what she thinks of each cast member. She shares like a briefness, like very surface level. I feel like she should have dove into it more, it being a memoir. And I feel like if you're going to write a book based on your experiences, like you need to give us stuff we can't find anywhere else that we haven't heard from you yet. And so if you're a huge fan of the show or her, it's a fun, quick listen. And I did enjoy hearing about her backstory. Okay, so we've had low ratings in books so far, but this book is going to redeem this whole section. I read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This is my second book from her. If you don't know this author, she writes a lot of these science-based rom-coms or like chick lit. So it's a modern romance, and hers all have to do with like science, scientists, physicists, like they're based in a scientific background. So Love Theoretically is about a young physicist. She's a theoretical physicist. I learned the difference between theoretical and experimental. And she is wanting to get this new job at a new university. And she's currently like an adjunct professor and hates it and doesn't make enough money, so she has to get on this fake dating website to help make some extra money. And it turns out the guy that she's fake dating is the brother of her new potential boss if she gets this new job. So she has to like interview with him. And it's also like he's kind of a rival because he's an experimental physicist and she's a theoretical physicist. So there's like a clash. And I haven't given a straight modern romance rom-com type of book a 5-star in a while, but I gave this one 5 stars. I don't love science. I never took science in college even, like it's my least favorite subject, but I really enjoyed reading about it because obviously it's easy to understand in the context of this book, and it's something different than I normally read about. It definitely is like, I feel like a little bit of grumpy sunshine, like the guy only has eyes for the girl. He's very misunderstood by others. What I really liked is Elsie, which is the main girl, is very relatable as a character. She's a people pleaser to the max. Like, she changes her personality based on every person she meets. Even though it was very exaggerated for her character, I think a lot of women can relate to that, of like trying to fit in and changing ourselves to what we know that person we're talking to is going to like and try to impress them in that way. And Jack, the guy, just like sees through that and really wants to get to know her for her. And so I thought that was a very great character development storyline. I'm just really happy. I like literally thought about it for a few days. I'm like, no, that was a 5-star romance read. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I am moving my way through House of Flame and Shadow. My full review will be at my April reset. Hopefully I will be finishing this month. So far, I'm not going to say any spoilers or anything, but so far I'm actually really enjoying this book. Right now, I would say it's like a 4-star read for me. We'll see how the ending goes. If that'll bump it up any higher. But I'm enjoying this more than I thought. I kept my expectations low because I didn't want to be disappointed, and I'm pleasantly happy with it. So it is dense. It takes a lot of focus to read, and that's why I feel like it's taking me a while to get through, but this will be a big accomplishment next month. Okay, and with that being said, that is it for this March reset. We had a lot packed into this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it inspired you to reset your life in whatever ways work for you, and just be excited for a new month and a new season. We're getting closer and closer to spring. Yeah, okay, I think I'm all talked out, honestly, after this video. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you either Wednesday or Sunday. Those are my uploading days for my next video. Bye!